as we dive deeper into the Py-EVM logging messages. So we went into validation, proof of work, and the base Pi. I believe in this one. No, the base Pi we go into next. So we go into the validation here. Everything right now is the same as the previous step or the previous video I just did, but we will be changing this difficulty in this video to show stuff. But we go down to validation.py and we find our print statement, if it'll scroll nicely for me. They're right here. Of course, lose them. There we go. So this is our validate light. So this is going to be called during the Hashimoto light sequence. And this is the validation between the value is greater than the maximum. So this is how we're doing things for validation between things such as account, sender, transaction, everything like that. And I don't think we changed anything in here. Yeah, yes, we did change something in proof of work. So this is the actual source code for the Py-EVM. They are just print statements. Just when you are editing these, make sure that since it's Python, spaces instead of tabs, or make sure that that'll work, or else it'll throw errors all over the place. Just make sure that you know what you're doing, or you've had at least some Python experience before you start editing this source code. So in here we have the check proof of work. So this is going to check the proof of work algorithm. And we have the output of the mining. It'll give us the mining output. We'll see that in our logs. If we scroll down a little bit more, so we have the proof of work nonce. This is our proof of work algorithm right here. And we print out the result from the proof of work nonce, which will be the big endian. So the mining result will be the output with the B string in front of it. And then we're going to do the result cap as well. And the result cap is this right here. And then in this, as we can see in line 94, the max mine attempts is 1,000. So when we do start increasing numbers, we can only test up to 1,000 before it runs out of guesses. I have not tried editing this at all. I will try later and see if I can get them to run like validation for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, something more realistic as opposed to like 2 or 3 seconds. And yeah, that's the only other things that we change. So we come up here, and as always, we're going to run the application. And as we've been building on these videos, our logs have gotten longer and longer. And by the end of this, they will be quite extensive, but they will be somewhat extremely valuable. Dumb saying right there, but yeah. So as we saw, we have our min-max value for validation of the sender and the transaction. Proof of work right here. Scroll down a little bit more. Same thing, Genesis header, mix hash. But after, when we call the output of the mining, right here in the code, this mining. So this is after it's done the Hashimoto light computation. We're going to get this is the mix hash, in which we can see down here from that mix hash we get the mix digest right here and the result right here. And we'll be able to see those later when we take a look at the block after it gets applied, after a bunch more, there's 2 or 3 more videos before we get to that. But yes, as we're continuing to build, we see this. And the value that we found was this, that fulfilled our proof of work. So we take that, compare it to that, it's less, it fulfills the algorithm, which we can see right here. Result less than result cap. We return the big nonce and the mixed digest. So we'll go back here, mixed digest result right here. So we see that in the code right there. But if we want to take, it looked like it barely had any guesses, right? So we're going to take a look at increasing some values in our main.py. So this is, other than uncommenting and commenting lines, this is the first time we've actually touched code in this series of videos. So we can change it to 10. We're going to save this. And this is the great thing about this Python EVM. So we can just hit clear right here, run the app, and now it's going to have a difficulty of 10. So we have 2 guesses right here with everything else the same. And so this Python EVM is just a very, very valuable. So we're going to change to 100. If you just want to run sandbox code and just test to your heart's content. So we're going to clear again and run it again. See how long it takes this time. Okay, let's take it. Okay, so we got a lot more guesses that time. So this is the proof of work in action, real time, with all the guesses printed out from the source code itself. And just for giggle, since our max is 1,000, we'll go and save this. So it's 1 less than the guess. And we'll go back here, clear that, run this. Awesome. And that's just something you can play around with. Very, very simple, very quick, very sandbox. You can just enter a print statement, and that's one of the great things about this Py-EVM. It's fantastic for testing things like this and tracing back manually, just so you can like show on paper where things come from, how things get computed, and everything like that. It does require you to know Python, know how to read source code, know what you can and can't do, cannot do, but at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing in Python, this is an extremely valuable environment to learn blockchain, especially Ethereum blockchain on. Thank you so much for watching, and we do have a couple more videos left, so please stay tuned. Thank you so much. Bye.